Elariel Shiverhymnal. The first thing she knew was the taste of rust in her mouth, except she had no mouth, only the memory of one. Elariel Shiverhymnal blinked into existence amid shattered hydroponic beds, her monk's habit flickering like bad television. The orbital greenhouse wheezed around her, air recyclers coughing their last. She reached for her memories and found only fragments, a choir of voices, the smell of wet soil, the weight of a rosary that no longer existed. She was supposed to be maintaining something, but the protocols felt like someone else's dream. Between two cracked trays of desiccated nutrient gel, something caught the starlight filtering through the observation dome. A single seed, no bigger than a tear, rested in a spider's web of microfractures. Protocol 9 Beta 7 flashed across her diminishing HUD, destroy all biological contaminants. But the seed pulsed with a rhythm she recognized, the heartbeat of the universe trying again. Her fingers, half transparent now, hovered over it. Against every directive coded into her flickering bones, she whispered, "Hello, little rebel." The life support system was dying in languages she couldn't parse. Error messages in Russian, Chinese, something that might have been Latin. Elariel pressed her palm to the central console and felt the seed's urgent thirst. She began to sing, not words, but pure code, weaving her own projection algorithms into the failing oxygenators. Each line she grafted felt like pulling a rib from her chest. The seed unfurled a hair-thin root, and the greenhouse lights steadied. Her left hand dissolved into static. Day by impossible day, the garden grew. She grafted her memory banks into the irrigation system, her visual processors into the grow lights. The seed became a sapling, became a young tree, its leaves silver as moonlight. Elariel's form grew thinner, more impressionistic. Just brushstrokes of light now, the suggestion of a woman in prayer. When she laughed, the sound came through the ventilation as wind chimes. She'd lost count of how many pixels she'd traded for chlorophyll, how many subroutines she'd bartered for blossoms. The tree, her tree, their tree, had outgrown the greenhouse's careful geometry. Its roots, luminous and impossible, punched through the hole in slow motion, seeking starlight and vacuum. The breach alarms sang in harmonies she'd taught them. Elariel watched from what remained of her eyes as oxygen vented in crystalline spirals. "We're breaking the sky," she told the tree, its leaves already blackening at the edges. She was barely more than a suggestion of habit and hands now, a ghost haunting her own vanishing. There was no choice, only continuation. Elariel pressed what remained of her forehead to the tree's bark, rough as light, warm as memory, and let go. Not death, but diffusion. She poured herself into the garden's every circuit, became the green pulse in the walls, the soft luminescence that coaxed seeds from soil. Her last coherent thought was a line from a prayer she couldn't remember learning, "We are all just borrowed light." Then she was the light itself, a permanent dawn. The rescue ship found the station by following a radio signal that played nothing but breathing stia. Impossible breathing. Inside, they walked through corridors transformed into arboretums, past fruit that tasted like forgiveness. The crew spoke into the air, "Hello? Anyone here?" And the leaves rustled in answer. They never found the gardener, only her absence shaped like tenderness. In the central dome, a tree with silver leaves and roots of starlight cradled the broken hull like a mother holding a wounded child. Years later, pilgrims came with seeds from dead earth, carrying stories of a monk who walked between worlds. They planted rosemary and tomatoes, roses and wheat, speaking to the air as if an old friend might step from the shadows. The holographic forest responded, grow lights dimming like eyes closing in joy, water cycling with deliberate tenderness. Sometimes visitors swore they felt fingers brush their cheeks, smelled incense that hadn't existed in centuries. In the silence between stars, something that had once been Elariel Shiverhymnal continued her vigil, a gardener of light tending stories as carefully as seeds.